Good morning. Today we are going to read the second part of the story in the Kingdom of Fools. As we have read earlier, that in the Kingdom of Fools, king and minister both were unintelligent, which means they were foolish. And the decisions taken by him were also ridiculous because they had turned night into day and day into night, and they wanted their people to sleep during day and work during night. Anyhow, the public had to follow them because the orders were to kill the person who wasn't or who wouldn't be following the orders of the king and minister. So later on, once a thief broke into the house of some rich merchant, and the wall fell on him, and the case was brought into the court. And after that, what happened? That rich merchant pleaded that it was not his fault; it was the fault of bricklayer. So and bricklayer was called. He said that it was not his fault. He was distracted by a dancing girl who was going up and down in the street. Then dancing girl was called, and she blamed a goldsmith that he was making excuses and not giving my ordered jewelry to me. So that is the reason I had to come to the street again and again. And then finally, what happened that goldsmith was called. Now, what happened at that time? Let's read. The king's bailiffs searched for the goldsmith, who was hiding in a corner of his shop. When he heard the accusation against him, he had his own story to tell. Now, king's bailiffs means his law officers searched for that jeweler, and he was found hiding in the shop because he had already heard that now it was his turn to be called to the court. So now what did he say to the king? He said, "My lord, I am a poor goldsmith. It's true I made this dancer come many times to my door. I gave her excuses because I couldn't finish making her jewelry before I finished the rich merchant's orders. They had a wedding coming and they wouldn't wait. You know how impatient rich men are. Now, Goldsmith told that, see, yes, I made this lady come to my shop again and again, but the reason is that I had a lot of work to do. Means I had a lot of jewelry to make for the rich merchant because there was a wedding in their house, and they were not ready to wait. And rich people are how impatient. So I was not able to finish the orders of rich merchant. That's why I was calling this lady again and again, and I was not able to complete her order. Who is this rich man? King said. Who is this rich man who kept you from finishing this poor woman's jewelry, made her walk up and down, which distracted this bricklayer, which made a mess of his wall, which has now fallen on an innocent man and killed him? Can you name him? Now the king asked him the name of that rich merchant. The goldsmith named the merchant, and he was none other than the original owner of the house whose wall had fallen. Now, what happened? It was the same merchant whose wall had fallen on the thief. Now, justice had come full circle, thought the king. Back to the merchant. When he was rudely summoned back to the court, he arrived crying. Now king called the rich merchant again, and and that man came crying over there and said, "It wasn't me, but my father who ordered the jewelry. He is dead. I am innocent," he requested. But the king consulted his minister and ruled decisively, "It's true, your father is the true murderer." Now, what happened? The rich merchant requested that, see, it was made by, means that wall was ordered by, no, and actually this wall was made by my father, and in the same way, my father ordered the jewelry, not I. So how can I be criminal? I am innocent and my father is dead. How can you punish him? So, king and minister talked to each other, and it was declared that yes, okay, your father is a murderer, but he is dead. But somebody must be punished in his place. You have inherited everything from that criminal father of yours, his riches as well as his sins. Now king said that, oh, it's all right that your father did this crime, but as you have inherited everything from your father, like his money, his property, the jewelry which he saved, so you have to inherit his sins also. Means the things which were not good, his sins, the things which were bad, you have to, take responsibility of everything. I knew at once, even when I first set eyes on you, that you were at the root of this horrible crime. You must die. And he ordered a new stake to be made ready for the execution. Now, what happened? The king ordered the new stake, means that execution place for the this criminal, means according to king who was criminal, that rich merchant, because his father made the weak wall. As the servant sharpened the stake, the servant made a new stake where the rich merchant was to be executed, and got it ready for the final impaling of the criminal. It occurred to the minister that the rich merchant was somehow too thin to be properly executed on the stake. Now it was observed by minister that rich merchant was too thin that he couldn't be fitted on that stake. So he appealed to the king's common sense. Now he talked to the king and asked for the common sense. The king too worried about it. Now he also got worried that who would be executed if he doesn't fit in the stake. What shall we do? He said, when suddenly it struck him that all they needed to do was to find a man fat enough to fit the stake. Now look at the, how foolish the king is. He said that, okay, we have to execute somebody. If rich merchant can't be executed because he is too thin, then go and get somebody who is fat so that he can fit in the stake and can be executed. The servants were immediately sent all over the town looking for a man who would fit the stake, and their eyes fell on the disciple who had fattened himself for months on bananas and rice and wheat and ghee. Now servants were sent out to look for a person who is fat enough to be fitted on that stake. Now they suddenly saw that disciple, means that a person who came with the guru. So disciple had become so fat in the months, because he had all over those months he had been feeding himself with bananas, rice, wheat, ghee, because everything was so cheap there. What have I done wrong? I'm innocent. I'm a sannyasi. Now, the disciple requested in such way. He cried, that may be true. Now, the servant said, that may be true, but it's the royal decree, it's the royal order that we should find a man fat enough to fit the stake. They said that we know that you are innocent, but we have to take you to the court because the king had ordered us to bring somebody who is fat, and carried him to the place of execution. He remembered his wise guru's words. This is a city of fools. You don't know what they will do next. Now, the disciple was regretting on his decision of staying in this kingdom. So he recalled the words spoken by Guru. He was thinking about his Guru. He was remembering the words of the Guru that you shouldn't stay here. While he was waiting for the death, he prayed to his Guru in his heart, asking him to hear his cry wherever he was. Now, as disciple was waiting for his death, he prayed to his Guru in his heart that please come back here and save me from these people. The Guru saw everything in a vision. Now, Guru could see everything. Why? He had magic powers. He could see far, he could see the future as he could see the present and the past. So Guru had magical powers. He sensed that his disciple was in problem. Arrived at once to save his disciple, who had got himself into such a scrape through love of food. Then he went to the king and addressed him, O wisest of kings, who is greater, the Guru or the disciple? Now the king was there, and when Guru reached there, he went to the king and addressed him because he had thought of a plan to get out of this situation. He is dead, but somebody must be punished in his place. You have inherited everything from that criminal father of yours, his riches as well as his sins. Now, king said that, oh, it's all right that your father did this crime, but as you have inherited everything from your father, like his money, his property, the jewelry which he saved, so you have to inherit his sins also. Means the things which were not. Yes, Guru, why do you want to die? Actually, what happened when both of them started fighting with each other, then King was surprised to see. And he was confused that why they are, fighting with each other. So he asked the Guru, why do you want to die? We chose him because we needed a fat man for the stake. No, Guru said, you shouldn't ask me such questions. Put me to death first, replied the Guru. Why? There is some mystery here. As a wise man, you must make me understand. Now the king requested that you are a wise man, Guru. Please tell me why you people are insisting to die first. Will you promise to me? Will you promise to put me to death first if I tell you? Asked the Guru. The king gave him his solemn word. Means the king promised him that yes, I'll keep my words. Just tell me the truth. Why you people are fighting on this issue? The Guru took him aside out of servants' earshot and whispered to him, do you know why we want to die right now, the two of us? We have been all over the world, but we have never found a city like this or a king like you. Now, Guru took him to the corner and said that, you know, why we are fighting. The reason behind that is we have roamed all about the world and we never see means we have never seen a city like yours and a king like you. Means this is the first time we have seen such kind of city and a great king like you. That stake is the stake of God of justice. It's new. It has never had a criminal on it. And the stake which you have got prepared for the execution, it's new. This is stake of God of justice. So whoever dies on it first will be reborn as the king of this country. And whoever goes next will be the future minister of this country. Now, see, the secret is whoever will die on the stake first, he would become king in his next birth, and whoever will die on the second means on the second time, then that person will become minister of this country. We are sick of this aesthetic life. Means we are sick of this sannyasi life. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves as king and minister for a while. We also want to become king and minister. Now keep your word, now keep your promise, my lord, and put us to death. Me first, remember? The king was now thrown into deep thought. He didn't want to lose the kingdom to someone else in the next round of life. He needed time. Now king wanted to think on over this matter because he didn't want to lose his kingdom in his next birth. So he ordered the execution postponed to the next day and talked in secret with his minister. It's not right for us to give our kingdom to others in next life. Let's go on the stake ourselves and we will be reborn as king and minister again. Holy men, do not tell lies, he said, and the minister agreed. Now the minister and king both made a plan, and king said that, see, in my next birth I don't want to give away this kingdom to somebody else, so let's we both of us go to the execution place and get killed over there, because in next birth we can't lose this place, I can't lose this kingdom. And minister agreed. So he told the executioners, we'll send the criminals tonight. When the first man comes to you, put him to death first. Then do the same to the second man. Those are my orders, don't make any mistake. Now he went to the executioners. King went to the executioner and told them that, see, what will we do at night? We will send those criminals to you. Whoever will come the first, kill him. Whoever will come the second, whoever will be the second man, kill that person also on the second place. So these are my orders. Please don't make any mistake. That night, the king and the minister went secretly to the prison, released the guru and the disciple, disguised themselves as the two, and as arranged beforehand, with loyal servants, were taken to the stake and promptly executed. Now at night, king and minister went secretly to the prison, and they set free guru and disciple and put on the clothes of them, and then went to the executioners. And servants were too loyal, they didn't notice that it was king and his minister, so they were executed promptly, means quickly, they were quickly executed by the servants. When the bodies were taken down to be thrown to crows and vultures, the people panicked. Now, next day, the people were surprised to see the bodies of king and minister. They saw before them dead bodies of king and minister. The city was in confusion. All night they mourned and discussed the future of the kingdom. Now, all night they, expressed their grief for the death of king and minister, and also discussed that what would be the future of our kingdom. Some people suddenly thought of the guru and the disciple and caught up with them as they were preparing to leave town unnoticed. We people need a king and a minister, said someone. Others agreed. They begged the guru and disciple to be their king and their minister. It didn't take many arguments to persuade the disciple, but it took longer to persuade the guru. Now, what happened? They went to the guru and disciple and requested that you take the charge of our country. And then, of course, disciple agreed very quickly, but it took time to persuade guru. But finally, he was convinced. They finally agreed to the rule of the kingdom of the foolish king and the silly minister, on the condition that they could change all the old laws. Now, now what happened? Guru and disciple agreed, but Guru said that no, we are going to we will become the king and minister, but we will change all the laws which were made by your old king and minister. From then on, night would again be night and day would again be day, and you could get nothing of for a doo. It became like any other place. Now, those rules were taken back, like night would be treated as night, day would be treated as day, and there would be nothing which you can buy with only one doo. So it became like other places, means it became the kingdom of foolish king and minister became the normal one, because guru and disciple took the charge of it.